in life?
Thank you. I'll just mention the high points, and maybe as we carry on, give you more details.
Correct.
Which we may require. Joe Donde is from Game Yala. These days people say, you have to say when you're coming from Game Siaya, you say you're coming from Game Yala.
Yes.
I was born 77 years ago, that is 1948.
Great.
Yeah, and I grew up in Game.
Yes.
I went to school in Uranga Primary School.
Perfect.
Then 1956, I was in class 1, and then the next year, 57, my parents transferred me to Nairobi.
Uh-huh.
Then I went to Mbotela, a school called Canon Apollo Primary School in Mbotela.
You were a privileged boy.
Yes, I was a privileged boy because my parents were also privileged somehow.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so I was there for quite a while. Then I went to Morrison Primary School for the upper primary school. Mm-hmm. That is in Nairobi, Bahati. Mm-hmm. Then after that, I went to a school in Busia called Kolanya Secondary School.
Correct.
Then after that, I didn't go to the then Form 5, 6.
Yes.
I didn't go. I started working.
Yes.
Then after 4 years, I stopped work and went for further education in Britain.
Wonderful.
That was 1978.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to Cardiff
mm-hmm.
University. It's part of the University of Wales then. Mm-hmm. And I spent there 4 years.
Great.
I did a BSc Economics.
Wonderful.
Then I did a postgraduate study in public finance.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, so many things have happened since then.
So you were in UK, which year to which year?
I went there in 1978,
mm-hmm.
and I came back to Kenya in 1989. So we are talking about 11, 12 years.
Oh,
yeah,
beautiful.
After finishing my education, I had hoped I was going to stay there for 4 years.
Yes.
But then now I had family and children who had just been born in the UK.
Don't tell me you married a white.
No. Okay. I'm married from Kakamega.
That's nice, that's nice.
Yeah, I'm married from Kakamega.
And you had no temptation to marry there? After
there was temptation, but yes. Eventually I settled for a Kenya.
Okay. Wonderful.
From Ireland. So,
yes.
And then after that, we came back to the country.
Just pick it up. When you came back to Kenya, what happened? What did you do?
I came at a very difficult time because there was agitation for a multi-party at that time. And being somebody who had a lot of friends at that time in politics, Jaramogi and my mother are cousins, or distant cousins.
So you came back which year?
1989.
1989. When after the Mlolongo, when the multi-party was gathering steam.
Gathering speed.
Yes.
And then I just plunged into politics because when I went to see Jaramogi at that time, mm-hmm. he was happy to see me back, and he told me, now that you are here, we are struggling to get this country forward to be a multi-party. So
great.
Whatever you have as an effort to help this movement, you do it.
So you knew Jaramogi before you left the country?
Yeah, Jaramogi is, we are related.
Uh-huh.
My father and Jaramogi grew up together.
Oh, yes.
Went to Maseno together, not grew up together.
Uh-huh.
Went to Maseno together.
Uh-huh.
And they were education together.
Yes.
Then Jaramogi had a cousin.
Yes.
Who was younger and closer to him called Eva.
Yes. And
then introduced Eva to his friend Isao Donde.
Yes.
So that's why my mother comes from Bondo.
Uh-huh.
Nyaroche, who is actually a distant cousin of Jaramogi from the same clan.
So you are pretty close.
So we are close. So me and Dr. Buru and
Raila,
we are
cousins.
We are cousins. So we are related.
Wonderful. Tell me, in game, you are not educated until you are a professor. Are you a professor or you are shy?
That is true.
Yes.
Even today we were having a discussion. Was it today? Yeah, somebody was telling me that people normally think I'm a professor because because people in game must be professors.
Yes.
But one thing I must tell you is that when I wanted to go to Parliament,
Yes.
that's what made me go back to school. Because people told me that you cannot.
You are uneducated.
Uneducated, and therefore, so I had some money that time, and I sponsored myself to Britain, and I went to Cardiff. That's where I did my education after that, and also raised some of my younger children. I have three daughters.
Yes.
So, and then life went on like that. So I came back and. I went into this multi-party. I was supposed to stand in the election of 93.
Yes, 92.
92, is it? No, the election was, it was 92 December.
Yes.
Yeah. But then Ombaka also had brought his name there, and he had been there earlier than me.
Yes.
He was slightly younger than me. So it was not easy, but Jaramogi picked that. Ombaka asked me to give Ombaka support, and therefore I didn't carry on with it.
Before we go into that rivalry that you almost had with Ombaka, can you tell me, as you were plunging into politics through agitation for multi-party, what was your inspiration as to get into politics?
Before I went for further education, I had it in mind that I wanted to go to politics. Some of those things you grow up thinking that this is what you want to do. Then when I went to UK, now I got more interested when I was there because I was watching debates. I was going to the House of Commons, and I saw the way things were being done. Then I realized that I could do better. Even if I was a politician in Britain, because I could see the way they conduct the business, the way they were doing legislation, and so on and so on. And it now made me feel more stronger that I should actually be a politician and do some of these things they're trying to do here better.
Wonderful.
And you know what made me also surprised? Because when I left the country, I thought politics was about putting food on the table, having a good house, and so on and so on. So when I reached Britain, I was so surprised that they still elect members of parliament, and everybody has a good house. If you don't have a job, you have money. You are given money every week. You have all the things you need in life. Yet, I was thinking that politicians are there to enable people get those basics like water, roads, and so on. So everything looked okay. So I was wondering, what are politicians doing? Then I realized that in life, needs changes from basic. Once you have your basics, you want to have more freedom. You have to want to this and this. So I realized that politics is a very wide sphere, and the needs of human being will never come to an end, and they can only be met through politics and legislation.
Let me take you back there a little, Mheshimiwa. There are two people here. There is the person called the politician who campaigns to be a representative, and then there are the people. And I heard you say you thought politics was about putting food on the table. Can you clarify that? Is it on the part of the politician seeking to represent the people, or is it putting food on the table for the people?
No, for the politicians, because there are basic needs which we all want to have. The most basic one is putting food on the table. The rest,
Yes.
maybe have water, have electricity, have good
As
road.
human beings.
Yeah, as human beings. Now that expands what actually is required. And you know, when people have a government, there must be people who are going to fight for or make sure that the people who elected them get those services they need to carry on smoothly with their lives. But then you soon realize that even those who have met their basic needs,
correct,
you still realize that they are the most difficult one to deal with.
Correct.
Because now their next needs are more complicated. They want now more freedom. They want a certain way of things. So it is a very complicated exercise, especially for some of us who have been into politics.
Let me. I want you to bring that into context. You said when you came from the UK, you plunged into the multi-party struggle.
Correct. Yeah.
What were you people struggling against? What were you people seeking to achieve in that struggle?
Well,
and how were you aggrieved?
Basically, when I came back and I found this agitation for multi-party, and of course it was a very straightforward thing, is that those who are one-party state would want to lock some people out, people who even the citizens feel that they are the ones who should be actually in governance. So to see people at that time like Jaramogi and Kidamuliro and so on being locked out using very uncouth means to make sure that they don't represent their people. And therefore, I soon realized that having come from Britain and I could see how politics liberal there, I said I couldn't believe that people can be locked out just because some people think that politics, governance is only them. So I found people like Namuliro, Jaramogi, so many people who even fought for independence they were making sure they were not part of the team which governs the country. And therefore, I found it I felt very strongly that I should join this movement in order to make sure that Kenyans elect the leaders that they wish to elect.
I want to dig deeper there, Mheshimiwa, because I know Kenya was a multi-party at independence.
Yes.
Then the KADU and KANU merged, and the Akamba People's Party. And then basically we became de facto single-party state.
Correct, yeah.
And Jaramogi, I think, had a misunderstanding with Kenyatta, and he was put under house arrest and so on and so forth.
Yeah. After he started his own party.
And then
that party was proscribed. And so on and so on. And now, as you say, Kenya became a one-party state officially.
Yes. Other than Jaramogi and probably Muliro, the rest of the people were free to contest in the single-party state, weren't they?
No. You see, the single-party state was such that you have to use one vehicle. And therefore, if KANU didn't want you to win, they will not forgive you, they will not allow you to. They had many ways of making sure that
you're not cleared.
Yeah, you are not cleared. And I remember we had a gentleman from South Nyanza called Okekamayo, isn't it?
Correct.
Yeah, and he had a position in KANU.
Yes, he was a vice chairman.
Very, very powerful. And,
yes.
You know, they would just decide
you are fate.
You are fate, and that's the end of the story.
Okay.
And there was no other party to go to.
Yes.
And so things like that were happening, and a lot of people felt that that's not the way to go.
Before I take you to your times in politics, I want you to just juxtapose the two political systems that we've had in this country. The single party and how it was disenfranchising part of the population not to contest.
Correct. Yeah.
And even today, under multi-party, I still think there is disenfranchisement. What do you say to that?
Yeah. You see, what you are saying has been brought about by a different thing together. Because we have now come what we call regional politics. And therefore, for example, let me give an example, for example, in Luo Nyanza.
Correct.
Everybody feels that it's like a one-party state. Because so people believe that the only party which can take it to parliament is ODM.
Is it or isn't it?
And well, it is not, because I know people who have managed to be elected without being ODM, and I can mention to you a few, like MP for Ugenya has twice been elected without going through ODM.
Yes.
Shakil Obado became a governor without going through ODM. So in a way, the party has tried to enforce itself into the community.
Correct.
But sometimes, as I've given you example, some people manage to go through. I particularly went to Parliament on a Ford Kenya ticket.
I remember.
Well, everybody else was in NDP. In fact, me and James Orengo, we were the ones who were elected on a Ford Kenya ticket. Yeah. But then, come the next election, the wave of now NDP was too strong. And both of us, we found ourselves out of Parliament. So that one is not by law. It is the regional, for example, almost each region want to have a party of their own, and they want you to be loyal to that party. But nothing stops you from using another vehicle to be elected. And as I've given you an example, quite a number of people have been elected. And I believe even in this coming election, there will be many people who will be elected through other vehicles other than the vehicle from their region.
Let me be a little bit academic here, Mheshimiwa. Globally, I know there are countries that practice multi-party, and there are countries that are kingdoms, and there are parties that are one party predominantly. I have in mind China, Russia.
Correct, yeah.
I have kingdoms like Saudi Arabia,
quite a number
the Emirates, and whatever.
That's true.
Where is life better in terms of the well-being and prosperity of the people?
Yeah, that's something which really needs to be addressed properly. I remember before Gaddafi was removed from power by the Americans, everybody was saying that life is much better in Libya. You are guaranteed everything. When you are born, they look after you well, and so on and so on. But then the problem is that people, as I said, once you have met your basic needs, you tend now to want to have freedom and other needs more than the basics ones. But if you ask me, these kingdoms which are one party at the moment, the ones you have mentioned, they tend to share wealth more equally, than because we were purely on the American way of life. That the strongest capitalism and so on, and in the process, a lot of people suffer because some people use others to make a lot of money, and that money is not being shared equally. So even as we are talking now, it is the reason, it is because of the needs of the people that they end up wanting a multi-party system. But then it is not a guarantee that you live a better life under that system, depending on what your country pursues. For example, Kenya is a highly capitalistic country that a lot of people are living in abject poverty in a country of plenty. So that is something which has to be difficult to answer, but that's the way I see it.
We went very capitalistic after independence. I think before that we were much more socialistic.
You see, the British made sure that people had access to medicine, people had access to so many things when they were here. Even I grew up in an estate called Kaloleni. And we used to have a field for playing football. We used to have people cleaning the grass. They come and mow the grass. We were living decently. And then there was also public transport system,
yes,
which was very, very thorough.
Correct.
You go to the stage and you know that within 2 minutes, 3 minutes, there will be a bus to take you where you go.
On time.
On time. So those things actually were there during whilst we are having independence. People in Kenya were living in a very, very sophisticated way of life. And if you ask me if we would have lived like that a little longer,
yes,
Kenya would have been even further. But as soon as we took power from the colonial, things went haywire. The transport system collapsed, the health system collapsed, the education system collapsed, everything. So we are like rebuilding the whole thing, and it's not an easy thing. And having lived both lives during that time and now, I can tell you 100% I would have preferred to live at the time when the...
Now you are the former MP for Game. In a nutshell, what do you want to tell the people of Game were your achievement, and what do you think you were not able to accomplish?
Yes, I think what I was not able to accomplish was being in the right party. That is the most awkward thing.
You didn't listen to the ground?
Yeah, I didn't listen to the ground. So that is the position.
Yes.
And I think I will never wish, from that time, I've never wished to go back to Parliament, because I've realized that it is not the way I was thinking. That
let me get this straight.
Yeah.
You don't regret not having listened to the ground?
I don't regret, because even I don't think I would have remained in Parliament for long with the kind of things I've seen. And I'm very happy that I served one term and that's it.
But you made your mark.
Yeah, because I believe that it was not the right place for me to be.
Let's be a little bit general, and I want us to end it here. You come from Siaya. We have a county government today, as opposed to the national government that used to marginalize the Luo community. For the last 15 years, how well has the county government served the Siaya people?
Oh, it is very unfortunate. Though I was part of the county government, I was chair of the Public Service Board in the initial 2013. And it was really difficult. And I think, let's just sum it up, that the people of Siaya have not benefited from devolution so far. I do hope that they will do in the future. But as we are talking now, I think Siaya, even if you go to Siaya now, it's like a dead town. There's nothing is happening there. Nobody's bothering. In fact, you can't even think there's a county government in the place. It's very unfortunate.
If you are to make a prescription to the people of Siaya, what is this prescription that will help treat the disease that is bedeviling Siaya today?
I think they should look at people performance, because they can see the people in Siaya and they know them. The only problem now is that the party will have to give them the person. Yeah, but otherwise, Siaya people, if they know their sons and their daughters, and I believe that they can be able to make that decision, put the right people who can be able, especially in the issue of top leadership of Siaya. Otherwise, as it is now, really Siaya is in deep suffocation financially and in development-wise. It's very difficult.
This is the last one now. I promise, and I promise.
Please.
You are a man from Game, and you have been in this country, you have been a member of parliament, and you've had your impact in parliament through legislation. Today you understand what is going on in the country. There is a lot of restlessness, especially from the youth. How do you explain this, and what is the solution?
Yeah, the restlessness in the youth, I think, is because of the technology, IT, and so on. So a lot of youths are get influenced with those who are busy doing. They call it what? These people.
Content.
Yeah, these people who do not content. These people who are in internet trying to persuade others to
influencers.
Yeah, they are called what? There's a name. Anyway, this is what is difficult at the moment, because a lot of youth are being, maybe you use the influencers by certain group telling them, let's do this, let's do that, not knowing that some of those things to do them the way they want may not be as easy. The global moves slowly, and that's how the world moves. Even some of the changes we've seen in this world, they have come at a very slow pace. At the moment, I don't think that there will be an easy solution to the youth. Number one, we went for the wrong type of system of education, where academic was the one which was put in the forefront. So everybody wants to be in university, thinks that that's the only way you can achieve what you want to do. Yet, if you look all over the world, the people who have achieved so many things, even if you go to Siaya, if you ask somebody who are the 10 richest people in Siaya, you'll find out that there are people who didn't go to school. Because you have to be creative, you have to make money. Even if you look in the book of 1,000 richest people in the world, you look at them, even John Major, the one who was in the UK, he was a class 4 dropout, yet he became a prime minister, became one of the richest people. At one time, when John Major was prime minister, children didn't want to read because they thought that if you fail, you'd
be like John Major.
You'll be the prime minister. So one teacher told them, surely you can't all be prime minister. You must read. So the model of education we had, which Kenya emphasized, put us all into that problem. That even if you go and now look at the book of 100 richest people, you look at them, the guy who Facebook, all these guys, they didn't go to university. All these people you see who have invented things, none of them went to university. So we stopped being creative and doing things our way, thinking that when you go to academy, especially Game it was worse, because Game, unless you have you didn't go to school, they think you can't do anything. If you don't have a degree, you can't talk. You can't, yeah. So that is the problem that Kenya is faced with. Thank you very much, Mheshimiwa. I think that's a good note to end it, because that is very profound. The problem we have in Kenya is our education system. Correct. Thank you very much. Thank you.